Why your brain is addicted to bad news. Here's what actually happens when you open your phone. You tell yourself just 1 second to check, and then a celebrity meltdown, an influencer getting exposed, a stranger on the internet having the absolute worst week of their life. You don't know these people. They don't know you. This drama will not pay your bills, fix your sleep, or answer a single email sitting in your inbox. But you click. And 10 minutes later, you're buried in the comments, reading receipts, screenshots, insider sources. Building a full timeline for people you have never met, will never meet, and honestly, probably never thought about before tonight. Here's the part that should bother you. You already know it's useless, but your brain is convinced this is urgent. Today I want to explain why. Because your brain isn't just wasting time. It's running a survival program that's tens of thousands of years old, and the apps on your phone have figured out exactly how to trigger it. It's 12:30 at night. You should be asleep. Your body is exhausted. Your eyes are dry. Every part of you is ready to shut down. Then, your screen lights up. Celebrity responds to the controversy. You think, what does this have to do with me? You already know the answer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But your thumb has already moved. Now you're reading a long post. Then the comments under the post. Then the screenshots in the comments. Then the insider sources linked in the screenshots. And here's the strange part. You're not tired anymore. You're focused. You're locked in. You want to know who lied first, who deleted the post, whose apology sounds like it was written by a lawyer at 2 a.m. Your brain is treating this like a mystery that needs to be solved. But nothing happened to you. No one you know is involved. The outcome of this situation will not change a single thing in your life tomorrow. This is what information anxiety actually looks like. It doesn't feel like wasting time. It feels like staying informed. It feels like curiosity. It feels like, I just want to know what happened. But your ancient brain just spotted social conflict. And it screamed, important. Look closer. Here's something worth sitting with. Good news feels nice. Bad news sticks. 10 people can compliment you in a single day. You feel good for maybe 5 minutes. One person says something critical. And congratulations. That sentence now lives rent-free in your head for 3 business days minimum. This doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. In psychology, there's a well-established idea. Bad is stronger than good. Negative events, negative words, and negative information grab our attention faster and stay in memory longer than positive ones. The reason is simple, and it goes back a long time. Your brain was not designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. Happiness was a bonus feature. Survival was the core product. Think about it this way. For most of human history, missing good news was recoverable. You missed one fruit tree? You'd find another tomorrow. But missing bad news? That could end everything. A sound in the grass. Is it wind? Is it a snake? If you assume wind and you're wrong, you're dead. If you assume snake and you're wrong, you look a little dramatic for 3 seconds. That's a pretty good trade. So your brain became a warning machine. It would rather send 100 false alarms than miss one real threat. That's why words like exposed, shocking, canceled, and truth revealed don't just catch your eye. They go straight to your survival system. They kick the door open. Your rational brain says, this is probably irrelevant. Your ancient brain says, quiet. There might be danger. And you already know which one usually wins. Let's make this concrete. You're an ancient human. It's dark. You're walking near tall grass. You hear something move. Option 1, it's probably nothing. Keep walking. Option 2, that might be a snake. Stop immediately. Which person survives more often? The anxious one. The suspicious one. The one who overreacts. So, in a strange way, your anxiety isn't a flaw. It's a very old feature. Your ancestors were good at being afraid. And that's exactly why they survived long enough to become your ancestors. You inherited that same brain. The difference is, now the snake is a push notification. Let's talk about gossip because this part surprises people. We treat gossip like it's shameful, low level, a waste of intelligent thought. But for most of human history, gossip wasn't entertainment, it was data. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar argued that casual conversation, talking about who did what, who said what, who can and can't be trusted, helped humans do something critical: maintain social bonds and track reputation within a group. Imagine you live in a tribe of 30 or 40 people. No banks, no written contracts, no background checks, no way to look someone up online and find 12 red flags in 30 seconds. How do you know who to trust? You listen. Who lies? Who shares fairly? Who has influence right now? Who's being pushed out of the group? Who might betray someone when things get hard? Today, that sounds like drama. Back then, it was essential information. If you trusted the wrong person, you lost food. If you stood with the wrong alliance, you lost protection. If the group rejected you, you might not survive winter. So your brain learned to care deeply about questions like, who did something wrong? Who's being exposed? Who's losing status? Who is everyone turning against? That information mattered. In the old world, it was genuinely important. The problem is scale. In the past, your social news feed was maybe 40 people around a fire. Today, your phone delivers the emotional chaos of millions of strangers. In real time, all day, every day. Your brain is still sized for a small tribe, but it's being fed global drama at industrial speed. That's not information anymore. That's a buffet built for your survival instincts, with no portion control. Now here's where this gets darker. Social media platforms don't need to understand your psychology in depth. They don't need to know your childhood, your fears, your values. They only need to know one thing: what makes you stop scrolling, and what makes humans stop. Usually not calm, balanced, thoughtful information. A headline that says, two reasonable people had a respectful disagreement is not breaking the internet anytime soon. But conflict, outrage, public humiliation, a shocking reversal, someone getting exposed, that works. Every time. Researchers at MIT found that false news on Twitter spread faster, farther, and more widely than true news. One major reason: false or exaggerated information tends to be more surprising, more novel, more emotionally charged. And emotional information moves. Platforms don't need to make you anxious on purpose. They just reward whatever keeps you engaged, and the content that keeps people engaged tends to look like this. Someone is angry, someone is lying, someone is in danger, someone has been exposed. A stranger's personal conflict becomes a public moral trial. A bad event somewhere far away gets processed by your nervous system like it's happening in your living room. Your brain reacts, you feel tense, you want more context, you check the comments, you watch another video, then another, and the algorithm notices. Oh, you liked that crisis? Here are 12 more. This creates a loop. The more anxious you feel, the more information you seek. The more you consume, the more anxious you become. And the more anxious you are, the easier you are to keep on the platform. At a certain point, you're not even looking for information anymore. You're looking for relief from the information you just consumed. That's the trap. Your attention isn't being stolen. It's being offered up by an ancient survival system that still believes every conflict might be life or death. Your brain is trying to protect you. The algorithm is trying to retain you. And your sleep is what pays the price. So what's the answer? Delete every app? Move somewhere without Wi-Fi? Communicate exclusively through handwritten letters? Tempting, but not realistic. The answer isn't to fight your brain. Your brain is older than your willpower. The answer is to give your brain a filter, a checkpoint it can actually use. Research on misinformation has shown something interesting. When people are gently prompted to think about accuracy before sharing something, they're significantly less likely to share false information. Not because they suddenly became more intelligent, but because they paused. They remembered to ask, is this true? Does this matter? That pause is where your power lives. So next time a headline grabs your nervous system, ask 3 questions. Give yourself 10 seconds. Question 1. Will this affect my real life in the next 7 days? Not the internet, not the global conversation, my life, my work, my health, my family, my actual decisions? If the answer is no, it's probably stimulation, not information. Question 2. After knowing this, what can I actually do? Can I take action? Make a better decision? Protect someone I care about? If the only possible result is more anxiety, more scrolling, or reposting something, that's emotional junk food. It feels like it matters. It doesn't. Question 3. Is this information helping my life or consuming it? Some information is genuinely useful. Health knowledge, financial basics, real events that affect your actual decisions. But a lot of what we consume online only creates the feeling of being informed. You feel like you know a lot. Your real life hasn't moved an inch. That's the gap between information and noise. Here's a phrase that sounds strange, but actually works. When you feel pulled in, say this to yourself: this is not my tribal crisis. Say it again. This is not my tribal crisis. It sounds almost funny. But the moment you name the pattern, you create distance from it. You step outside the alarm. You're no longer inside the panic. You're watching it go off. That's the first step to taking back control. Here's the real fear underneath all of this. It's not actually, I want to know. It's, I'm afraid of not knowing. Afraid everyone else has information you don't. Afraid you missed something important. Afraid you're falling behind. Afraid of being outside the group. That fear is ancient. In a small tribe, being out of the loop carried real risk. But being out of the loop about internet drama today, that's not risk. That's freedom. You don't need to track every controversy. You don't need to follow every comment war. You don't need to monitor the emotional lives of people you have never met and never will. If you miss a celebrity's latest response, your life continues. If you don't know why an influencer is being canceled this week, the sun will still rise tomorrow. But you might sleep better, think more clearly, have time for something that actually matters to you. That is the trade. And it's a very good one. So practice this. Allow yourself not to know. That is not ignorance. That is mental hygiene. Mature information consumption isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing what doesn't deserve access to your brain. So next time you feel the pull toward the drama, the breaking news, the everyone is talking about this headline, don't immediately judge yourself. Pause. Take one breath and ask, is this actually my crisis? Or is this emotional candy from an algorithm that profits from my anxiety? Most of the time, you already know the answer. Not every sound needs to enter your brain. If this helped you see your information habits differently, leave 4 words in the comments. Turn it off. Not because the world is fake, not because information doesn't matter, but because your attention is worth more than most of what's competing for it.